Hey guys, how you doing? I want to welcome each and every one of you to this episode of Tips, guys. All right. Tax information and planning strategies. It is my pleasure to be here again with you. While you are coming in, you guys kind of know what I like to do actually right now, right? So while you are coming in, guys, kind of actually let us know where you are listening from. Just let us know a little bit about where you are listening from, okay? And this also give you time to guys share this information actually with your friends online, whether you listen to me on Facebook on several different pages on the Facebook, or you listen to me on YouTube there. Please go ahead and actually share it with individuals. But always, 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 when I start talking, what I want you to do, have a pen and pad. Okay, have a pen and pad. I see you guys are already, yes, New Orleans. What's up, Mr. Price? How you doing, sir? I'm Charlotte, North Carolina, Richmond, Virginia's up in here. All of you guys are coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you for actually coming in. All right, so welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sheila's actually there also as well. Guys, I'd be doing this all day, but thank you for actually joining in on here with us. But go ahead and share it. Go ahead and share it. Go ahead and share it. Sheila's actually sending it out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These are some actually awesome tips that we're going to be able to actually get, guys, okay? If you want to do some Q&A, some questions, you can chat it in on the different platforms or wherever you're actually watching from. Go ahead and actually chat that in, and I will try to get to it towards the end. Okay, I will try to get towards the end. If I see a question there, guys, I can go ahead and respond to it as well. Okay, but go ahead and actually share it, guys, because individuals all around definitely need the tips. They definitely need the tips that we have for them. Okay, so we want to make sure that they get all of the tips actually that they need, guys, for tax purposes, because today we are going to be talking, guys. We are going to be talking all about the what? Those IRS notices and balance dues. So it's a big subject, especially now. Okay, it's a big subject, especially now. Why do you say now, Terrence? I'm saying now, guys, because in this budget that's been proposed, there's going to be some additional money that's proposed to hire additional IRS agents to do what? Try to collect money that is due. There's going to be some additional money that they're proposing that they want to get to try to collect the money that is due. So that's why I want to make sure, guys, that you basically have this information, because letters will come out. Okay, letters will come out, and you need to be prepared on what to look for if you get a letter. And guys, not just because you might be the one thinking, hey, I do my tax, I do it all the time, but I'm okay because I don't owe a lot, or I did owe a lot, I can go ahead and pay that off. How many of you can honestly actually say that you have received a letter at one particular time? Okay, someone actually tell me that. Okay, if y'all can chat that in, regardless of wherever you are, if you have received a letter from the Internal Revenue Service before, okay, have any of you received any type of correspondence from the Internal Revenue Service at one particular time? Have y'all actually seen that? Yes. You've seen actually letters that actually came before, right? Seen letters that actually came before. A lot of letters actually came, guys. Yep. All of you guys actually seen actually letters that actually came, okay? Toby mailed his back, all right? I don't know about all of that, right? Mr. Boswell, how you doing, sir? Yeah. So we have received these letters. We have received these letters one time or another before, and then sometimes they're so wordy and going through it, you don't really know what it's all about. You don't really know, what's going on in your letter. If you happen to open it, and thank you for opening, that's the first thing I want you guys to do. Yes, because I have met several individuals, they get that letter from the Internal Revenue Service and they run. They don't want to open it. They keep it there. They try to wait until, the letter comes with a green sticker on it. That green sticker is the one you got to sign for, guys, right? Right? So you keep running actually from it. No, do not run, okay, from the letter. You need to open it. When? Now. You need to open it now because there's some very important things on the letter that we're going to talk about. The first thing that I want you to do when you're talking about the letters, okay, guys, when you get a letter, is I want you to look at the top right corner. I always want you to look at the top right corner, and there's a code up there. Many of you may not know what it's about, but especially if you're going to talk to your tax professional about this letter that you receive, you want to give them that code, okay? Normally it starts with CP. Normally it starts with CP, okay? Normally. If it starts with some other letters, we're going to talk about those, all right? But normally CP correspondence actually that the IRS like to actually put before a letter. Then it has some numbers right after that CP. Those are very important because each one of those can tell your tax professional a little bit about what's going on or the timing of that letter even before they read it. It tells them a little bit about the letter and the timing of it even before they read it, okay? So make sure that you look up there. Now, the most common letter that does go out, the most common letter that goes out is something called a Cp07. Cp07. Now, do not be alarmed with this, okay? Do not be alarmed with this. But this letter can go to anyone, guys. Any of you guys that you're doing your tax return, whether you're doing it yourself, or you got a tax professional actually doing it, and you all of a sudden you get this letter in the mail, and most of the time the letter, if it's something that discrepancy is not right, it's a Cp07. And all that letter is basically saying is there's something that's not matching up with the computers. It's an automatic letter. It's an automatic letter because here's what's going on with that letter, guys. It's basically saying you sent information to the Internal Revenue Service, okay? And the Internal Revenue Service have information from third parties. You know, your employer, your financial institutions, they're sending their forms in, right? They're sending the W-2s, they're sending the 1099s, the 1099-R forms, the dividend forms, the interest forms, the mortgage statement, 1098 form, all of that stuff is going to the Internal Revenue Service. And then you have your tax return that you sent in to the Internal Revenue Service, and the computers are saying they are not matching. They're not matching. One of those always actually happen, guys, when they actually say, hey, is something that somebody sent to us that you didn't have on your tax return. Now, have y'all seen that letter before? So, see, normally when I say that part, people are like, oh, that's what that's a Cp07 letter. That Cp07 letter is basically saying, hey, we got something extra here. And do you know sometime what that letter really kind of focuses on? Well, I won't say what I focus on, but what I'm seeing most of the time right now with that letter, guys, a lot of stock, dividend, capital gains items. You basically did some buying and some selling and you got proceeds that came out, right? And you either didn't have it on your tax return, okay? Or you didn't have the cost on the tax return or the proceeds. Something's not matching up. And we're seeing a lot of that now because of what? Cryptocurrency. And I'm telling you, we're going to see a lot more of that because of cryptocurrency. I want you to know, guys, okay, if you are in cryptocurrency field and you're doing things and you're buying and you're either selling or either using cryptocurrency to buy other things, those are transactions. Now, and one day on Tips, we're going to go over cryptocurrency. We don't have time to go over cryptocurrency. That's a whole subject by itself. But know this, you need to track how much it is when you purchase it and how much it is when you either sell it or when you make a transaction with it to buy something else. Why? Because it's the same thing as selling with the Internal Revenue Service. Okay, you're going to need that because if you file your tax return and you do not have it on there, but the third party, because this is what's coming, I'm telling you, this is what's coming. Third party sends it in. Yes, Coinbase is going to end up sending it in. Okay. And when they send it in, if you don't have it on your tax return, you more than likely would get a Cp07 letter. Now, the Cp07 letter, guys, is not a bill. I want you to understand that. It's not a bill, but it's a proposed amount. They're not saying you wrong yet. They're not saying this, but what they are saying is somebody sent something and you didn't coordinate on your tax return, okay, we proposed that if the computers are correct, that you didn't put this on your tax return, we propose that your tax amount has changed, and here's what we think it is. And they're gonna have a number there. See, many people see that and they see that change. It's like, oh my God, my taxes done changed on this. Not yet, guys. Because if you're doing that and you think that it's already changed and that's the new bill or like deficit or whatever it is, and then you just write a check and you just pay it or you just do some other things, you may have lost money. Just because you get a CP07 letter does not mean that the Internal Revenue Service is correct. What you want is your tax professional to look at it. That's what you want. You want your tax professional to look at it. I basically actually looked at one another couple of weeks ago, and for a client, and they got the letter CP07. The Internal Revenue Service was like, you sold a house. You sold a house and you didn't put it on your tax return, and you are going to owe us money. We propose X amount of dollars that you're going to owe us. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. Why? Because the third party sent in a 1099-S. That's what the attorneys do. When you close and you fill out all the paperwork there, they can send that for me. And you got the HUD statement, they closed, right? And they send it to the Internal Revenue Service. Internal Revenue Service said, hey, you didn't put this on your tax return. Now, the person didn't put it on their tax return because they knew that was their personal home. And with their personal home, they qualified, okay, to have $250,000 excluded, okay, of the capital gains. And they fit right in there. So that means that they wasn't going to pay any taxes on that gain that they had. The Internal Revenue Service didn't know that. You see, you're supposed to put certain things on your tax return, okay, and treat it a certain way, fill out the correct forms, because that's what he didn't do. He just didn't put it down there. But no, you have to put it on there. But there's an exclusion that you can fill out, guys, to let the IRS know that, yes, I know that I sold my house. I sold a house, but I qualify for the exclusion. And when I qualify for the exclusion, I don't owe any taxes on that money. If you don't tell the Internal Revenue Service that, how would they know? They wouldn't know. Okay, so all we had to do when it was proposed that this is what it was, say, oh, here's what the problem is. You don't have to amend your tax return when you do when you get a CP07. As a matter of fact, on the letter is going to tell you that they do not really want you to amend it. But if you want to get the right amount, you can do it like an amendment, but on the top of it, okay, on that first page of that amendment is 1040X, you're going to write down CP07 on there, okay? You're going to write that on there so that they know that don't process this amendment. I'm just responding to a CP07 letter. And then guess what? They actually have a fax number that you can fax that letter to. Okay? You don't electronically file it. You don't have to mail it. And woo, if you have to mail stuff right now, we still get numbers that the Internal Revenue Service have about 13 million, is the last number actually that I got, of letters still to open. They're behind like 13 million. Okay, still to open the stuff and process. So you don't want to do that. But they do have a fax number. They have a fax number that you can fax them. All of that information, guess what? Is on the CP07 letter. If you read the letter, okay? Because guys, if you read the letter, it's going to tell you pretty much everything that what's going on and what you can do. Okay? It's going to say that. The problem sometimes I know comes in is the wording of the letters, right? The wording of the letters are there. When people read certain words, you kind of freak out a little bit. You kind of get a little scared a little bit just when you read certain things. Now, some of the letters that the Internal Revenue Service actually send out, guys, is called soft letters, okay? Soft type of CP notices. Nothing to be all crazy and alarmed about, okay? I'm gonna read some of those, okay? Not to be crazy and alarmed about. Other than the CP07, there's some other letters not to be actually crazy and alarmed about, okay? There's something called a CP05 letter, okay? CP05. This is one that some of you guys say, I might be alarmed about this. This is a letter that's notifying you that the Internal Revenue Service is just going to hold your refund, okay? Because they're reviewing some things. They're reviewing the income. They're reviewing the deductions. They're reviewing the dependents. They're reviewing different things. That's in the CP05 series because it's separate from one of them, Okay, several difference. Okay, sometimes they are holding your refund because there may be a little discrepancies from one year to another year that's not all there. Okay, but if they are holding your refund, just not sending it in right now, you may get a letter from the Internal Revenue Service just says CP-05, so that you know that, hey, they're just holding it. I hadn't lost it. They're just looking at something just to make sure it's accurate. But then they have a CP07 letter. Now, CP07 letter is going. You're going to get one of those guys if you're doing any type of itemizing. Okay, that's your Schedule A. No, like your mortgage interest may be wrong, or they're looking at their church contributions and things of that nature. Okay, they're just going to hold things for a second. All right, you may end up getting a letter. Not saying anything is crazy right now, anything is going on wrong right now, but they hadn't processed your tax return. Have y'all ever seen anything that hits your tax return and you go online and so you want to see what's going on and it says in processing? But you thought that things were going to be, in between that 10 to 21 days, you're supposed to get that refund back, but you don't see it and it's still saying what? It's processing. They're just holding it for a little while. And if the hold is longer, you may end up getting that letter. You may end up getting a letter. A CP08 letter is pretty much like additional child tax credit that you might not have claimed from. So look, the Internal Revenue Service even sending you letters because you may have missed a credit that you could have claimed. You may have missed that. You're going to get a CP09 letter if you missed the earned income credit. Okay? So there are some good letters that you want, but these are just all little soft letters. These are just little notices of things that's going on. Nothing wrong, nothing changed. But you just may get a notice because your tax return has been processed just a little bit longer. Okay. Also, you want to get this notice. It's a CP11 notice, though, if you claim earned income credit and IRS believe that there was some kind of errors in going on. Okay. Ernest Kitchell said, he said that his is actually still processing. Yeah. Okay. Don't get alarmed yet. All right. It just may be some things going on. I can tell you, a lot of people right now are have their thing processing, and there's a longer term of processing. Guess what? Something's not matching up. And what's not matching up normally right now this year? What wasn't matching up was that stimulus amount that you got. The stimulus amount that you got last year and the one that you got towards January. And when your tax professional was asking you, how much did you get last year? How much did you get this year? You might not have thought that it was important. Oh, I got about 1,200. Oh, I got 24. I didn't get mine. I don't remember getting this. I don't know if I got one in January. I got it this. And you gave them the wrong answer and seeing it, and it's holding up your tax returns now. Because those numbers are on your tax transcript. So if the computer's seeing that and it's not linking up, guys, it's holding it. It's holding it. Now, here's what I want to guys should go over, though. Okay. And this was a CP, CP42. CP42 is about married and divorced taxpayers would get this notice. If your spouse had a past due tax bill, let's say that you filed and you're not there anymore, right? You're divorced and your spouse had a past due tax bill, and they're going to take your refund and apply it towards whatever that bill is, or your spouse. This happens, let's say you just got married. Let's say you just got married and you didn't know that your spouse had a past due tax bill, and you just got married and y'all filed joint. Have this ever happened to somebody, right? Or I won't even put out there. Have you ever known it to happen to somebody, right? Let's be good with that one. Have you ever known it to happen to somebody? All of a sudden, you see that joint tax return goes towards some past due amounts. Now, if you ever get a CP42, letter, there is an option for you guys to possibly, I would say, file an injured spouse claim. Yeah, because you can file an injured spouse claim and you can potentially get your refund. You can potentially, if they take your money and they send you that CP42 letter, you can end up coming back like, woo, let me find this injured spouse. I didn't know that you owed, student loans. I didn't know that you owed back taxes or whatever. And then they took out a refund, injured spouse claim can come. So if you get that letter, you want to do so. Okay. Now, even if this one I'm going to go over is a soft notice, is one that I want you to pay attention to. Okay. It's a soft notice, but I need you to pay attention to this. Is a CP14. The CP14, guys, is basically letting you know that you have a balance due. That's your bill. People always hear me talk about bill and this and that. No, that's your bill, and that bill then may have some interest going on, may have some penalties going on to add it up. But this is your first notice that the IRS done process your tax return, and here's your bill, CP14. Okay. Now you may also get a CP501. Okay, pretty much the same thing, right? It's your bill that's coming to you. So those two letters, CP14, CP501, I need you to pay attention to those. Okay, I need you to pay attention to those because those are your bill and what you have to do. And then there's a series of notices that I'm gonna go over that would come if you do not pay that bill. Some of those other letters that's going to go to our balance due part of this. But let's hit this actually real quick because this one is becoming rad now. Okay, unfortunately. Okay, the CP01 series, I call it, is a series of 01. So if you have something, CP, have 01 afterwards. There's a series going on, and that's all about some type of identity theft. Some type of identity theft. So again, you want to open up these notices because you want to open that up. And if you see that, you see a CP01, woo, it's identity theft. It's going to give you certain things that you need to look at, that you need to actually call them about, get somebody else to actually help you to handle it, okay? But something is going on there that you want to pay attention to, all right? Now, let's move on to some of these notices that's all about balance due. Notice I started off with the CP14 or the CP501 that shows you that. I want you to understand, guys, the Internal Revenue Service, I might do a separate one on this as well, tips on this one, have a collection cycle. They have a collection cycle. That cycle starts with that CP14, that balance due. Boom. You're going to be able to actually end up getting two bills before it gets really crazy, okay? You'll end up getting two bills before it's really crazy. 10-day notices. The first notices that CP14 is going to say, this is your balance due. You have 10 days. You have 10 days to respond. You don't respond, end up getting that CP501. You have 10 days, another 10 days, right? If you don't respond to that one, then you're going to start getting these hard CP notices. You're going to start getting some hard CP notices at that particular time. And one of those hard CP notices, guys, is a CP90. One of those hard ones is a CP90, okay? Which is also go for the CP503. That's not a 502, okay? It goes to 503, okay? Same thing. Now, this notice, guys, it can end up being, one of the final notice and for the IRS has to intent to levy your assets. Intent. A lot of individuals, of course, read that and they see levy and they freak out, okay? But it says intent. They're not doing it yet. They're not doing it yet. But if you do not pay attention to what's going on, they will do it. If you don't pay attention, guys, they will do it. So it's an intent then to levy. Now, one of the things that they're going to actually also say, guys, is we're going to take your state refund money. If you do get a refund from the state, we're going to take that. We're going to take that. If you get a refund from the state, we can go ahead and actually take that. The CP91 that comes actually out, guys, is going to say, uh-oh, this is another final notice. Now they're going to start messing with your Social Security benefits and garnishing those. Also, guys, the 503 is going to actually start talking about your passport. See, each one of those start to get more and more. You're going to start talking about your passport and getting your passport, taking your passport. Notice, even though all of these are starting off with the 10-day notice, 10-day notice, and then the 30-day notice, and 30-day notice again, right? All of those are different notices on the CP thing. Now, if you ever look up there to your right, and you get a letter that starts with an LT, I need you to call tax professional help. Give us a call, okay? Give us a call. Because that is your ultimate last stop right there. Okay, so LT11, okay, that LT11, guys, is basically you hadn't set up an arrangement, you hadn't talked to the Internal Revenue Service now, and now they are ready. They intend to seize your property. They are intending to levy at this time. They are intending to levy. That means after those days go by, after that 30 days go by, at any time you can wake up in the morning, try to use that ATM card, and you can't because your money gone. You can get your paycheck, and when you get your paycheck, you notice something on there that says garnishment. You can end up getting a letter, and that letter told you that they have already taken some of your retirement benefits. You know, that cash value that you had accumulated. Now it's gone. You definitely don't want to mess with the LT11. Because the Internal Revenue Service says, we gave you a lot of time already. This was past due way at the CP14. It was already, you already had a balance due. You didn't pay us then. You didn't pay us when the other letter came, 501. You didn't pay us with the 503. You didn't pay us with the 504. We tired. We tired of waiting for it. Now, here's the thing, guys, okay? Here's the thing I want you to understand, though. When you're getting these letters, these hard notices, that's coming to you, okay? You can stop these hard notices that's coming to you. It's called picking up the phone. Now, I wouldn't pick up the phone necessarily and call the Internal Revenue Service all the time. I'm sorry, okay? I wouldn't do that if you hadn't talked to them before, because there may be some other things that going on, and you may know some other things that's going on, okay? But you want to stop the cycle, because this part of the hard letters, I call some a part of the collection cycle with the Internal Revenue Service. You want a tax professional that deals with the Internal Revenue Service and collections that can speak on your behalf. Okay, those are your tax attorneys, your CPAs, and of course, myself, the enrolled agents. Okay, you want to contact us. When you contact us, guys, we're able to get a power of attorney, okay, from you. And you do not have to talk to the Internal Revenue Service once we represent you with a power of attorney. Okay, you get the power of attorney, we take that, we call the IRS, send it to them. Now we represent you to basically help you with those types of notices. And they can be, you know, their language, okay, is hard. Their language is hard. But I want you to say, yes, you may be able to get out of some things, but do not take it, guys, for granted. Because you do not know where that cycle is if you don't understand those numbers that I kind of went over. This is like your first part, you know, as far as listening to it. You might not understand all of those. We understand the cycle. We understand how to break that cycle. We understand how to give you more time. Even if you wake up in the morning, okay, and you got, you know, and you go to your bank and you can't get in it because all the money is gone. We know how, guys, to basically help that situation, because your bank can't send it back to the IRS for 21 days. So don't just say, oh, they got my money now. I knew that I owed. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills next week, but they got that, but I can't do anything. Yes, you can. Give us a call. Okay. Potentially you can, I would say. Okay. Give us your call. Okay. Give us a call, because you can do that. Now, isn't something about how you end up getting that letter? You're welcome to get you, right? Isn't something about how you get that type of letter that they went to your bank and Ernst Bank after the fact? Somebody actually said that and stuff. They was like, you know, they sent me this letter. Why didn't they actually send a letter to me that they was going to take money out of my account? Really? Really? Okay. You know, and I went ahead and asked them, I said, so what would you have done? I would have got my money out. I'm like, that's why they didn't tell you that it was going to take the money out of your account. So after they take the money out of your account, then you're going to get this letter that's going to basically say that they took money out of your account. Guess what? Your bank already got the letter. And that normally comes after the LT11 letter I was talking about. After the LT11 letter has came out, remember, so you got 30 days from that, guys, you have no protection at that time. They probably already sent letters, okay, to the different banks that you have. You can't hide. They're going to send it to all of the banks you have, your retirements that you have, a cash value. They're going to send it out there. Then all of a sudden, you look at it, money's gone. Okay, so you want to stop the cycle, and there's ways to stop the cycle. We will. I mean, how many of you guys actually want to hear a collection cycle call? Want me to actually go over that and stuff? I go over all the cycles and what they can do, what they can't do and stuff, and when they can do it and things of that nature. Y'all want me actually to do that, so actually let me know. I can do one of those also as well, actually coming up in the future, so you can see it. Okay. But for this call, guys, I just wanted to give you an introduction pretty much, okay, of the notices that's out there. And then some of the hard notices that's out there that's all about your balance dues that you have. But people mess up again because they don't read the mail. Also, guys, if you have a change in address, let the Internal Revenue Service go. It's not going to save you that you actually say that, oh, I moved, I didn't know. You got certain times that you got to let them know that you moved. Okay. So make sure that you do that. Update your address, let them know, open up your mail, get assistance if you need assistance. Get assistance if you need assistance. Okay, guys, how can you actually contact us, guys? You can always get in contact with us, guys, at www.hawkinstax.net, www.hawkinstax.net. And guess what? I got something online for you. Okay, I got a gift that's on the front page of the website, all for you. If you go to hawkinstax.net, there's a free download. That's a free download that you can get, guys, in detail, all about the notices, all about the CP notices, guys. I think it's about 8-9 pages long, all about the notices, or what I'm going over now and what happened. See, I know I was saying those numbers fast and this. I know you had those pen and pads, but you couldn't write down. Don't worry. I got it for download. If you go to the www.hawkinstax.net on the main page, scroll down, I think it's about 3/4 down there. You can click there, guys, and get your free download that you can have to fill the information and get it right now, okay? So that you can have it, print it out, have it handy, okay? I'm showing it to your family, friends, or whoever that's out there, guys. But at least if you get some of those letters, you don't have to panic. You know what those things are. Knowledge is power, and we want to make sure that you get that, okay? We want to make sure you get that. So definitely go to www.hawkinstax.net to get that. Also, guys, want you guys, if you think it's good content, guys, and you like our content or what we got, please go ahead and like us on Facebook. I know some of you guys are, like my personal page, but go to the Hawkins Accounting and Tax Service Facebook page. Go ahead and like that page, okay? And also go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, okay? So you can have this recording is going to be back on the YouTube channel. I will upload it there, and I'm going to have some other things that's going to be popping up on the YouTube channel as well, okay? All right, sounds good? Well, guys, I want to appreciate each and every one of you for actually being on another episode, guys, of tips on tax information and planning strategies with your guy, Terrence Hawkins, your favorite EA. Okay, I wish all of you guys will have an awesome day and continue to learn all the different types of strategies to what? Save money on your taxes. We need to keep more of the money that we make. With that being said, guys, as always, this is T-Hawk. And guess what?